Peace, family. My name is Vicki Dillard for African Diaspora News Channel. Thank you so much for tuning in, family. You all know that the powers that shouldn't be, that push white supremacy here in the United States and absolutely around the world, they're so fragile because they push the lie of like this natural notion of being supreme. Whenever you hear us talk about white supremacy, we're talking about the systems and institutions that they put in place. We're not talking about individual white people running around here like they really supreme. No, we're talking about the systems and institutions that they put in place to dominate. So let's make that distinction. Well, whenever their white supremacy doesn't look so supreme, child, they retaliate, baby. And here's one example. I want you to listen very, very briefly to this short clip of 16-year-old track star who just beat the brakes off of everybody on the track for this state title. Her name is Clara Adams. Watch this clip.
I worked so hard for that title.
The greatest moment of 16-year-old Clara Adams' young career taken away from her because of a celebration. After winning the 400-meter event at the CIF State Championships with a time of 53.24 seconds, her dream of winning a state title went up in flames after celebrating using a fire extinguisher.
When she blew the fire extinguisher, the opponents were gone. That was our moment of celebration, and the CIF officials made that about them.
The North Salinas High sophomore grabbed a fire extinguisher from her father and coach and extinguished off her spikes. The CIF deemed her celebration unsportsmanlike, stripping her of her title. It's a celebration made famous by American sprint icon Maurice Greene, who enjoyed her paying homage to him and thinks she should get her state title back.
People just started calling me, "Oh, this girl who just won the 400 redid your celebration." And I was like, huh, what? If it was away from everyone and not really interfering with anybody, I would say reinstate her.
There's a CIF rule saying you can't come over the wall, you can't be on the infield, which is a rule respected. But at this point, I saw an official grab my daughter by the arm. They were yelling in her face. When he grabbed her by the arm, I went over the wall at that point. I'm father now. I'm not coach anymore. I'm over the wall.
Now, the true fastest 400-meter runner in the state is back home without a medal.
Even if everything goes in my favor, in regards to like getting my title back, I'll still never get that moment back, like standing on the podium as a sophomore. I'll never get that back because they took it from me.
Okay, family, did you see that foolishness? Now, she followed all the rules and regulations, crossed every T, dotted every I. She didn't even have that extinguisher there. She was following another previous track star's example after winning some years back, as you saw in that clip. Her father gave her that after it was over and out of the way. And they wanted to put her in her place for quote unquote being too uppity. Y'all know that's what white people call that. They don't want you to celebrate your greatness. They want you to have it in your mind. You not that. Now, how many of you all know that's a spiritual thing first? They don't want your mind or your belief to support that you really all that. Now, I know a lot of y'all love to emphasize this notion of humility and all that. That's true. That's good to be humble. I'm all for that. But I don't know why y'all emphasize that more than you emphasize the greatness of your gifts. That's because too many of our people haven't experienced that. See, when you don't know how to access your power, you want to say the first quality that you love about everybody is being humble. You ain't doing nothing great. I'm not excited to be around nobody that's sitting up here, every other word out your mouth is humble, 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 humble. And you sitting there talking about somebody else need to be humble, 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 humble. And you ain't doing nothing great. How many of you all know the reason why they attack how you think and believe, which is spiritual? Is because that's the most important thing. That's what informs your actions. And that's what makes me a master spiritual teacher. It's because I understand that. And guess who else understands it? The powers that shouldn't be. And they don't want her to think more highly of herself than they think she ought. And they dang sure don't want nobody else around her to get that idea. Well, baby, too bad, so sad. Vicki Dillards of the world exists, and we're going to keep pushing and pumping up our people's heads so they can get up off of this low self-esteem foolishness. The only time I care about what somebody think is if they trying to steal from me, copy from me without giving me credit and respect. If somebody ain't stealing from me, taking from me, and what they doing ain't got nothing to do with me, baby, what I care about what they think about themselves. See, you're projecting when you have a problem with somebody thinking that they're amazing. And in this instance, she proved that she was amazing. Then she celebrated. Y'all still mad? She proved she was all that. She left nothing but fire and dust and smoke. People couldn't even see good when she was done with that. The people couldn't even see good when she was done with that race. And that bothers your emotions. None of us are going to make ourselves small because you're uncomfortable. If anything, we finna mash the gas. Well, since that's happened, shout out to her family. Watch this. And shout out to her father that put winning a little thing to the side when they put their hands on his daughter. He came from across the wall. That's what black men supposed to be doing. Talk black to me, somebody. Shout out to her father. Well, just now, as of the date of this recording, it says, and this is a report from ABC News. It says family threatens legal action after track star is disqualified over celebration paying homage to Olympian. The family of 16-year-old track star is threatening to take legal action after they said the California Interscholastic Federation, which is a CIF, that was the term they was referring to in that clip you just saw, disqualified their daughter and stripped her of her gold medal after she celebrated her win in the state final by spraying her feet with a fire extinguisher, a homage to Olympian champion Maurice Greene. That's what I was saying before. She didn't make this one up on her own. Clara Adams, and even if she did, so what? Clara Adams of North Salinas High School sophomore said that CIF officials told her that she was disqualified for, quote, unsportsmanlike behavior after the 400-meter star final was prevented from standing on the podium to claim her number one spot and competing in the final race. Shout out to her family that's getting ready, that's threatening to sue them. I hope they do. But let me tell you something. That young girl, that young lady said that she'll never get that moment back of standing on the stage. That's true. You won't. But baby, you got your whole life ahead of you. Let me tell you something from somebody like myself, who I know is ship-shaping the world my way. After going through hell and high water, as a young girl and as a grown woman, you still a goddess. You still got it going on. And them patting you on the back and giving you a reward, that's great, that's wonderful, and you deserved it. But baby, you got so many other things going for you. Don't you dare just stick to one thing. You hold your head up high. You focus on yourself. And you grow into the goddess and the woman that you've been created to be. You just getting started. That ain't going to stop nothing. And that's not going to define who you ultimately going to be. My name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. I can't wait to hear what you have to say about it below. Be sure to comment, share this broadcast. And don't forget, you can learn more about my spiritual school. My students are getting signs and wonders and miracles. I have students that are giving testimonies of $10,000 raises. People that are getting breakthrough in their families, in their minds, in their spirits, in every imaginable way. If you want to tap in for long-term success, talk black to me, somebody. Not no tricks, but long-term success. Check out my school at VickiPlanet.com. I can't wait.